Hi, welcome back into the craft room. Wait, I'm not Susan.
Today I'm going to be talking about a little bit of housekeeping in the craft room. So how do you store all of your bits and pieces from the Peter Rabbit Patchwork Quilt? That's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to share with you some of the ways that I'm going to store all of my goods and materials. The first container that I'm going to show you is where I keep my squares. As well as my squares, I keep my 22 centimeter template, and that's where I can lay my squares flat. I have my patch and character squares, and they can lay there all together. I chose this type of tub because it matches my other tubs of filaments, and I'd like to store that on top there, out the way. The next thing I wanted to show you was where I keep my copies of the actual instruction guides. Well, I subscribe via going to the newsagents, and they put them aside for me, so I won't be getting the free goodies. And apparently down the track you do get a folder to store all of your publications in, but I've just opted for a generic binder that has the facility to put a front cover, a spine and a back insert into it. I've just used craft paper, and I've used the brochure in the front from the very first issue. And I chose these folders because they're easy to get. They're just Kmart folders, and if we're going to be collecting 90 of them, I want it to be accessible and easy to buy in the future. The next thing I'm going to show you is where I keep all my bits and bobs. I'm only up to issue 3, but as it grows, I'm sure the tubs will grow, but I'll show you how I've started to store my goodies. Okay, in this purple one, I keep my quilting ribbon. On my squares, I've opted to border them with ribbon, so I do have a bit of a stockpile here for my future squares and patches. So that's my quilt ribbon. In my second tub, I have my fabric flats. I've also opted to choose my own backing fabrics. I'm thinking of getting another set like this to keep my flats in them so that they're color coded as well, and I'm sure I'll be getting more of those down the track. So I'm going to use my own fabrics as a backing. I find that the fabrics that they provide are very pale and a bit insipid, and I do prefer something more vibrant. Okay, the third one is the embroidery thread. As you can see, I haven't used these ones. I've only used some for the appliques. For the flowers, I'm going to be using motifs and other options. So I'm not going to embroider the flowers, but I am going to use the embroidery cottons for the actual characters features. So these are the embroidery threads. I've also got the sewing cottons. I haven't used these as yet. I do use my sewing machine, and I do have a good stock here of cotton behind me, but these are the ones that they provided, so I've just included them in the kit as well. We've also got the Applique Fabrics. These are the character fabrics. All the little offcuts are kept in here, and they're Applique Fabrics. And my last tub are the templates. These are the templates I made for the 4x4 patch, the large template and the small template. As my templates grow, I'm going to be making them out of card and storing them in my template box. So there we have it. It's nice and compact. It's a big misconception that artists, creatives, crafters are really unorganised and work in really messy places. Well, I love to have things really organised, labelled, and as you can see in my space, I've got the tubs with the labels on it. I've got all of my filaments in colour coordination. I've also got my bits and bobs boxes as well, and all my book boxes up the top. I've got my patterns, my lettering, art resources, art notes, etc. So you can be a creative and a crafter and an artist and work in a really creative functional space. So I've shown you how I'm going to be storing my Peter Rabbit Patchwork Quilt goods. How are you going to store yours? I'm very interested. Please leave your ideas, comments, feedback in the comments below, and please like and subscribe.
Bye, that's all we got time for. Adios! So bye, that's all we've got time for, sorry.
No, you want to say
Bye!
You're going to say bye, see you next time.
Adios!